Hi, and welcome to the Stethoscopes to Swaddles podcast. My name is Shiro Bergbauer. I'm a wife, mom, and certified registered nurse anesthetist. I started this forum to create a community for women in medical careers with the goal of providing them with tools and information to help them navigate the transition from clinician to working moms. On this podcast, we discuss various issues ranging from the journey to motherhood, being a mom, parenting, marriage, and everything in between. No topic is too small or too big to be addressed. My objective is to allow moms to be vulnerable and also promote wholehearted living. I love this definition of wholehearted living from author and researcher Brené Brown. She says, wholehearted living is about engaging with our lives from a place of worthiness. It means cultivating the courage, compassion, and connection to wake up in the morning and think, no matter what gets done and how much is left undone, I am enough. It's going to bed at night thinking, yes, I am imperfect and vulnerable and sometimes afraid, but that doesn't change the truth that I am also brave and worthy of love and belonging. So welcome to the podcast, and I hope you enjoy it. Happy Monday, and welcome to this week's episode of the Stethoscopes to Swaddles podcast. I am so honored that you're here. So thank you for allowing me to hold space for all of us as we explore our motherhood journey. So today I want to talk about something that we lightly touched on the last couple of episodes where I hosted Dr. Benuto, and this is the concept of the good enough mother. So as usual, I'm going to start with a story. So the other day, I was speaking to a friend who has a 9-month-old, and as we were talking, she said something to me that I thought about well after the call was over. And she made this comment about the fact that she had been following a certain mom on Instagram, and she had started to feel less than because she wasn't doing as many other activities with her kiddo as this mom was. But what I realize is that, especially now that we have had less physical contact with other people and we're getting to see more people on social media and just see how people are living out their highlight reels, it's so easy to get caught up in the comparison game and also get caught up in thinking that we're not doing enough. Something came to mind of a conversation I had with another friend of mine when my daughter was about 3 months old. And we were just talking about milestones and how to explore, their growth and development. And what ended up happening was my friend mentioned sensory play to me. And to be completely honest, I had never heard of this concept. And so I started doing the research and figuring out how to do sensory play. And I was like, oh my gosh, I'm so behind. I'm just not getting caught up. And what I realized as I was going through this process was that my daughter was making her milestones anyway. And I didn't need to always be doing the things that other people were doing in order to get there, quote unquote. And when my daughter turned 1, I met this amazing guy, one of my patients, and he said to me, I know you have a little girl. You've told me about your daughter. And I just want you to think about being a good enough mother. And I had honestly never heard of this concept. And he was like, yeah, there's, a psychologist that came up with this concept and you really should look into it. The phrase, the good enough mother, was coined by British pediatrician and psychoanalyst Dr. D.W. Winnicott in his famous book, Playing and Reality. So he took a softer approach than Freud in his views about the role of parents, and that actually made his teachings more popular with parents at the time. What he did was that he recognized the need for children to realize that a mother is neither good nor bad, nor the product of illusion, but is a separate and independent entity. The good enough mother starts off with an almost complete adaptation to her infant's needs, and as time proceeds, she adapts less and less completely. Her failure to adapt to every need of the child helps the child adapt to external reality. Basically, what his teachings boiled down to was the fact that a good enough mother was better than the perfect mother. He wanted to bring in this idea of, as a mom, being intuitive to your child's needs, but also allowing your child to slowly separate from you as an entity and being their own independent person, but also allowing you room to be imperfect. What he basically passed on was that you don't need to be the best mother, quote unquote, to raise a psychologically healthy child who feels loved and nurtured. You simply need to be good enough. A good enough mother who takes care of your baby's basic physical and emotional needs. And if your baby feels overall safe and loved, he or she will be able to tolerate and forgive your imperfections, right? So our babies are not looking at us looking for the best version of this perfectionist mother that is going to meet their every need every second of the day. Don't put them down to go to the bathroom because that makes you not perfect, or you don't show up everything that they go to, because if you don't show up, then you're not a good mom. And just allowing yourself to be good enough.